Hello and welcome to another episode of the Vinyl Resting Place podcast with me, Dapo Agiri, and I have one of my favourite VRPs, but don't tell the others, Kingsley Jones. What are you saying, fella?
Thank you, mate. Thanks
How
for
are
having
we?
me back.
Oh,
Yeah,
thank you for
good.
coming back. No, I appreciate
It's great
it.
to be invited again. Clearly, I made an impression.
You made an impression. I mean, you are you the first person to come on 3 times?
Well, I don't know because you missed the recording for one of them apparently. So maybe it's twice. technically.
Yeah. Has your Lost Tapes come out yet?
I don't know.
I should check that.
I haven't
Probably.
seen any clips in it. So.
Yeah, but there won't be. There can be clips from it. It's hard. It is hard because, like, no, it can there be. I think it was one of them that we just fucked the whole video.
It's lost.
It's lost. But the audio is there and it's crisp as fuck.
True.
And if it is out, go and Go and listen to the William Onyebor episode that we have. I'm pretty sure it's out on Spotify.
I should hope so. Well, this was January, you know.
Don't timestamp me.
No, I'm saying it doesn't feel so long ago.
No, it's not that long
September
ago.
already.
Yeah, this year is
Flying through.
It kind of stresses me out though, because I feel like we make our plans so far in advance. We were literally saying it earlier today. We make our plans so far in advance, and then they come, and then you're like, without even having a moment to breathe. Okay, what's my next 3 months looking like? Like I had planned my festivals and my holidays from probably this time last year, and I was like, I've got a great summer ahead of me. So excited. All done now. I have 2 days of annual leave left to
Play with.
Yeah,
What are you gonna do with them?
Part of me wants to do like a little like winter sun sort of trip, like a long weekend winter sun. Part of me also wants to do like a productive getaway, if that makes sense, without sounding too cringy.
Good,
Like
retreat.
a retreat, kind of the thing that I can like it to. Have you seen that Soho farmhouse?
Okay.
So it's like Soho House,
Yeah.
but they have bought like a estate or some shit, so you can rent cabins there. People ride bikes and stuff, so like there's a workspace for you to do.
It's Centre Park.
It's mate, I love a Centre Parks. So that is, if anything, a selling point for me. But yeah, it's a Centre Parks, but it costs you about $3,000 to go.
Yeah.
Which is just Centre Parks, to be fair.
True. Yeah, it is. It's the same thing.
It is the same. It is exactly the same
Rebranded.
thing. Just less activities.
Fewer. Yeah.
Don't do that. How was your summer?
It's been good.
Yeah.
What have I been doing? A few festivals here and there.
A few festivals. You went to Glasgow.
Well, the big one, yeah.
Yeah. I heard it was shit.
It was brilliant. It was so good.
It was brilliant, he said.
It was just so good.
I'm glad. I am glad.
Yeah.
So, your first time going to
My
Glasgow.
first time, yeah.
Yeah. Do you feel that it is too big?
Not in terms of area, not in terms of things going on, but in terms of people,
Yeah.
absolutely.
Okay, that's
It was
what
oversold.
that's what I've been hearing a lot, is that it was just rammed. Like you spent so much of your time queuing, and it got to the point by like the second day people were just committing to a stage, being like, we're here now, we'll see who's coming on here because we want to see this person in 2 hours time, so there's no point in us even venturing to somewhere close by, because by the time we come back it's just carnage.
Yeah, you have to be pretty brutal about it. I mean, you have to do that to a certain extent anyway because of the
Scale. Yeah.
So I didn't find it too bad. There were times when you couldn't get in places.
Yeah.
But
There's all that happens everywhere. If you've got a smaller stage, there is a capacity.
That's
And,
true.
like, it's hard. People give like festival organisers shit for not like realising that Fred Again is going to blow up when you've got them at a small tent at All Points East, or not realising that this random act that you've booked 9 months in advance suddenly has this huge cult following that is all at your festival. Like, it's hard to pin down when to put someone in a enclosed space. And there's some artists
that's true.
that
It's not easy.
main stage doesn't fit.
And some just blow up like weeks prior to the event, like Charlie XCX.
Yeah, true. They're very true.
So
Pratt Summer's dead now.
It's
Over
dead.
it. Past.
I'm over
Move
it.
on. I'm over it. I am officially over it. I thought I was like here for the culture and shit like that, but nah, done now.
no, it's
It's tepid.
autumn's here. I mean,
Yeah.
I've got my Got my pleated
You
trousers on
are
now,
pretty
and
autumnal, to be fair. Leather
switched
jacket.
like that. Yeah, leather jackets
I can't.
on over
You
there.
do fair. You do have good like autumn fits.
Yeah,
I would say.
it's my time of year.
I
for
would say,
clothing,
yeah, you're a pumpkin
Some
spice boy.
I'm struggling what I'm doing. But
Your jumpers,
I got
the
jumpers.
knitwear collection, crazy.
It's true.
It is good.
Yeah.
It is good. I was trying to think of a segue to get from knitwear to this game, and I just can't. It's not come to me. So we're gonna play the opposites game, and I like antonyms, like, because one, that is technically the right word,
Yeah.
and two, it just has a bit more.
Sounds good. Yeah.
Yeah, like antonym sounds like a board
play
game.
with that.
Yeah. So we're
Sure,
gonna play.
We could play further with that as well.
Yeah. Put a pin in that.
I
That's
think
your
I
homework.
will.
This is so. For those who have been watching, we've kind of trialed new guest hosts, shall we say. Barney will be dipping in and out, but Barney's living life and making GTA 6, which has been slowed down. They've pushed it back the deadline again. Yeah,
What, since recently?
like 2 days ago. Yeah, I know, annoying. I know. I'm gonna have to give him a piece of my mind.
So better be good.
You bet it will be good. It will be good. I hope. If it's shit, blame Barney. But all the guest hosts have been given little bits of homework. Really not planned at all, but this is yours. This is your piece of homework. Kind of came with the game.
Okay.
You got to think of a new title, a working title for this.
For this game.
Yeah,
which we're about
for
to play.
antonyms. You can
Yeah.
run with it. Run with it.
Okay, we'll see.
Next time you come back, you
Alright.
can give me your findings. Charles is just never going to be number one, so he didn't get any homework. He's in the remedial class. Do you understand the rules of antonym?
I'm pretty sure. I think just for the purposes of the listener.
For those listening at home, I have spent my free time, as I often do, thinking of band names and flipping them on their head by making an opposite answer to it. Sometimes I do album, sometimes I do band names. Today it is band names. Because we are talking about bands today, but I won't spoil that yet. Ready?
Let's go.
So, the first question is focus.
That's it.
Yeah, focus.
Chaos? No, it's not band. Focus. Blur.
It is blur. It is blur.
Camera focus.
Like a camera focus.
Good.
They're very good. So you see what I'm saying? It's not
Yeah,
linear.
I get it.
Next one is Antarctic humans.
Oh, come on. Arctic monkeys.
There you go. See? They fluctuate.
Okay.
I think they actually might all be British bands. So there's your
Okay,
there's your clue for the day. Higher than Olympus.
Lower than Atlantis.
Yeah. I like that one. I was a fan of that one.
Yeah.
The Marmalade.
The Jam.
Yeah. Wooden Bachelor.
Metal Wives.
No.
Metal Husbands.
No.
Wooden.
You are there. Like, the word metal is not it, but you're
Iron
in.
Maiden.
Iron Maiden.
There
Let's
we
go.
go.
Let's
Yeah.
go. Sink shallow.
Sink shallow.
Yeah.
Rise deep. Swim deep.
Swim deep.
Whoa.
Let's go, Kigo. 2 ball. The Dud. This is probably the hardest one.
The Dud.
The Dud, as in someone who's a bit of a failure, has no
The
potential.
Prodigy.
Yes, come on. I did. See, this is what I was
There you
saying. I
go.
was saying off camera that often when I do these games, people get a little bit confused and there's a bit of head loss. But Kingsley thinks in the same way that I do. So this has worked out really well. And the final one, the Regulars.
Regulars.
This is for a clean sweep of the opposites game. Something that we've never had on vinyl resting place before.
No way.
No clean sweeps ever. No pressure.
Pressure's on. I'm struggling.
If you,
The regular could be, interpreted in many different ways.
but if someone was not regular, what are they?
They are.
The answer's not irregulars.
Yeah, well, yeah. That's what I'm thinking about, like Starbucks cup sizes right now.
That's not the angle to go down. No, that's not the angle to go down.
Regulars. The rarities.
Oh, you see, you're
very-
sniffing around the right ballpark now.
The occasions. Are they a band? They sound like Motown.
Is that your final answer?
No. The regulars.
Yeah, the regulars. The regulars.
I'm struggling. I might have to give up.
You're not gonna like this, Kingsley.
Go on.
The specials.
See, I wasn't too far away.
You weren't too far. When you said the rarities, I thought you were gonna get it. I thought you were gonna get it. The specials. 7 out of 8 is
Regular and special. Are they antonyms? Gonna question it.
These are all verified via Google.
Oh, right, okay.
As in, I make it and I'm like, I find the opposite of, and I choose between a list of. So I would go the opposite of special, and then I would find the antonym that I like the most.
Fair enough. So
Yeah.
you made the rules.
Of course I made the rules. It's
You
my
made the
damn
rules.
podcast.
Yeah, that's true.
Who? What would you have put as the specials? Like, what's the opposite of special to you?
What's the opposite of
Because
special?
you can't say not special. Do you know what I mean?
like the banal.
You would never. If I had said the banal, you would have never ever got there.
Yeah, the everyday.
like regular.
No, that's completely different things.
Like regular.
No.
The everyday and the regular are those
No,
are. Do you know what they are?
no.
Synonyms.
They're not. No,
They
they're not.
are synonyms.
No, they're not.
Oh, funny.
I disagree on that one.
We'll loop back to this. We've got a whole night to discuss. We're gonna pose this to Sophie and see what she says.
Yeah, I know. All right.
So those were all British bands, and arguably one of the biggest British bands of all time has reformed. Today we are going to be talking about Oasis because it's been all over everybody's timelines. It's been one of the biggest stories to hit pretty much this year in terms of UK music. Like it's massive. I think there are people who never thought this would happen for whatever reason. I kind of thought it would because, money. Why would you not?
Yeah.
And enough time has passed since the feud for them to put it to bed.
Enough divorces have happened for them to run out of money.
Exactly, because it's not an endless pit, and they're two separate bands. Whatever you may think of them, they ain't Oasis. They ain't Oasis. So what we're going to do today is we are going to rank our top Oasis albums. Do you want to do top 5 or do you want to do top 3? I'll give you the choice.
I could rank them all.
Yeah.
We can do the.
Should we do the whole thing? Yeah, let's do it.
I mean.
Yeah, I'm happy with that.
Yeah. The ones lower down on mine, I don't really have much to talk about.
That's
why they're ranked lower down.
Let's just skip through them. What's your 7 through to? What's your 7 to 6?
My 7th of 6 is. Dig Out Your Soul, 2008. The last one before they broke up.
Agreed. Yeah.
I mean, that's probably why they broke up.
Because it's shite.
Yeah.
This is a tough listen to me, for me.
Yeah.
A really tough listen.
I mean, the best tune on there is I'm Out of Time, in my opinion. I think that's the one you probably find in any,
Yeah.
Not like a compilation album or like the best of
Yeah.
Spotify mix or whatever.
Yeah.
So.
Bad.
Yeah, not great.
Not great.
I think that's widely, that's an opinion which is shared by many. I don't think that's controversial to say that.
No, I don't think so. I don't know. I feel as though you reach a point in time as an artist or a band where sometimes the formula doesn't work anymore, and this is a sign of the formula not working. I think even if they didn't fall out for the reasons that they did, I'm not sure how many more albums they could have made after this, personally. But you look around, it's still got like accolades and bits and bobs about it. Like people were still fucking with it. It's just, it doesn't sound as good as their old music. It's interesting listening to a discography kind of back to back over the course of a few days or a couple of weeks. Like actually being able to physically hear the change in sound. And like honestly, it felt. Obviously, I won't go into the other albums too much because we will get to them. But it's like it felt like a loss in passion and actual quality. Like I could hear it through time, which is weird to say.
Yeah, you can feel that. Like there's lacking creativity a bit.
Yeah, just a lack of inspiration, I think. But yeah, so we're not big on dig out your soul, which is fair enough.
Yeah.
Your 6?
Number 6 for me is Standing on the Shoulder of Giants from the year 2000, which is controversial.
Interesting. Okay. Why?
I don't think there's no standout anthem on there for me. I don't think like it sticks out in the memory. But then you speak to people who were around then. I say around then. I was 2 years old. But people who were growing up with this music.
Yes, yeah.
For many, that is a standout album because it's the millennium year and just that energy. But you know, it's a crowded field really of albums that do share that. You know, kind of riding the cultural movement at the time. You know, it's Britpop and all that came from it.
Well, I think that's the thing.
But,
I think it's the sound. For me, it's almost like the sound of Britpop. It's like sonically, and not necessarily making a statement that this album is the sound of Britpop. But I don't think it's bad. But I do strongly agree with the idea of it not providing much.
Would you say it's higher up?
Yeah, it is higher up in my list actually. It would be. It was in my top 5.
Okay.
Yeah,
so one more.
There's one more up. It's not saying much. I would have had Heaving Chemistry.
No, that's the big disagreement we got going on. Wow.
I would have had
Crazy.
I'm just not. I'm not a fan of it. I'm not a fan of any of it. Really, like because it's one where I remember having listened to it. Like this is an era where I wasn't necessarily like old enough, but by the time I was in like year 6, year 7, and people were listening to music, especially when I got to like Trinity, this is the sort of album that people were presenting me to. Like this was my introduction to, for what a better word, caucasity. And I didn't like it then. I don't really like it now.
I love it. I mean, we'll come to it when it comes to mine, but I mean, the album cover in itself is, I think, so iconic.
Yeah, and I remember the album. I remember the album cover, but it's not for me. And this is a big thing for me. I was saying, I think they just started really strongly, and trying to rank it. I was ranking them in a vacuum. Like, okay, these are just this fuck context.
Right.
Let me just listen to the album, and I mean, I was gonna say.
So that's your number 5. It's your number
6. I was gonna say, Stop Crying Your Heart Out. You've got to give that song a little bit of love, but again, not for me. Not for me.
Couldn't disagree more.
And in 2017, Liam Gallagher ranked it his least favourite Oasis album. So me and point made. Right. He's a better brother anyway.
Wow, the disagreements just keep rolling. Wow.
he's definitely the more talented brother.
Yeah, it's unbelievable.
Definitely the more talented brother.
That's so untrue.
You know my number 5. What's yours?
My number 5 is Be Here Now,
Your number 5 is Be Here Now.
1997.
Really?
Yeah.
Why?
Well, Dapo.
You've already lost faith in me.
Whatever I say, you
Yeah.
disagree with that.
No. To be fair, it's I don't have it. I don't have it like super high. I mean, I don't have it low.
Well, it's not in my top 5. Well, it's not. It is my top.
It
fifth,
is
my
in your
fifth
top
one.
5. Yeah. I don't. Put it. It's not my first. It's not my number 1 album, right?
Yeah.
Cool.
All right.
Fine.
We both, okay, we can agree on that one.
Yeah.
Let's start. Let's have a basis of agreement.
Yeah.
But it's more of a case of we're getting to the point now where top 5. It's more about albums I do prefer rather than that. Not
And how it
being
makes you
able to
feel.
get that
Yeah.
high up.
Fair enough.
The tunes on there, I would say, Be Here Now itself, Stand By Me.
Mm-hmm.
All around the world, absolutely.
All Around the World is an epic, mate.
Fantastic.
I never listened to this album before,
Yeah.
and I was like,
It is a
whoa.
great tune.
I didn't realise they were about this life. It's so good. So good.
Yeah. And you know what I mean as well. The
Yeah.
first
Yeah.
track.
A really nice intro as well.
Great,
Yeah.
great song.
I agree.
So it's not like I don't like it,
Yeah.
but it doesn't rank a lot.
Fine.
others for
No,
me.
that's fine. That's fine.
Mhm.
There. So, yeah, my number 4. Wait. Yeah. My number 4 is Don't Believe the Truth. Yeah.
Well, we can agree on that one.
Come on.
Yeah,
See,
number 4.
we're about. I think we're about to hit a level of parity.
Yeah.
I think, or it could go tits up, and we're one way or another.
Well, I'm intrigued as to what your number 3 is massively. Let's go.
Yeah.
Let's give Don't Believe the Truth.
Don't believe the truth.
This moment.
It does sort of buck my trend of thinking that they got worse as they went on a little bit.
This is for me. This kind of moves against that. I don't think. I think there's 2 distinct waves for the Oasis. That
Okay.
94, 95, that's 96. The Oasis.
Mhm.
Really, and then for me it drops off,
Yeah.
and then it picks back up again in 2002, 2005, and then it drops off massively. So it's a bit of an M.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Bit of an M shape.
Ebbing and flowing. I think they start off really strong. I think
You think it's a slow decline?
a slow decline, and this is a brighter spark
Okay.
in the slow decline. And maybe it's worth caveating this by saying that there were only a couple of these albums that I really didn't like. Like, I didn't like Dig Out Yourself. Like, I didn't enjoy it.
No.
I didn't enjoy it at all. I don't hate Heathen Chemistry. I just don't think it's great. And once we get to, for me, standing on the shoulder of giants, like, I don't think they're amazing albums, but there's songs in it that I will go back and listen to.
Right.
So that's the sort of measuring stick. So where we are now, I do feel as a good 4 or 5 songs of this album I think I will listen to a lot. I think Lila's actually a really good song.
Oh, it's class.
I think Lila is probably, like, of the whole listening process, was one of my favourites.
I think what we see in Lila is the beginning of Noel Gallagher kind of thinking about when we compare him, so his music, to what we've seen over recent years in various formats, but mainly with the High Five Birds.
Yeah.
I think that's where we see signs of that kind of music, because you can kind of point to that.
So do you reckon I'll like the High Flying Birds? I've never really given them a chance.
Well, now you say that you're a Liam Gallagher fan, no, you might already go in, with a bit
I just think Liam is more talented, which is not what I expected to think.
He's a better songwriter.
Yeah.
Well, sorry, Noel's a better songwriter without shadow of a doubt.
No. Yeah, but then I think my argument is, can Oasis be Oasis without Liam? Probably. It can't be without either of them. But I think like sonically, and that's always what I lean towards, just being a singer. Even though I think it at times the nasal is a bit much, just a tad. But even though it may not be to my taste all the time in terms of like how I choose to sing or what I like my singers to do, it is so incredibly iconic and such a staple of what drew people to the music. But I mean, I'm not a massive fan of either of them, so I'm splitting hairs quite massively. I think they're both kind of knobheads. But should we do top 3?
Let's do top 3.
Have you done your 4?
My 4 is your 4.
Oh, we're the same. We're exactly the same.
My number 3 is Heathen Chemistry.
Yeah, that's fine. And my number 3 is Be Here Now.
Okay, so we're more or less.
We're more or less in the same ballpark because there are 2 standouts. You didn't talk about your kind of thoughts on Heathen Chemistry.
I'm probably not the first and will be the last person to make many links from Oasis to the Beatles.
No. You're not groundbreaking, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. But I mean, a valid point nonetheless.
Well, there are a few bands out there who have actively gone about to create their music based on others that preceded them, and Oasis has from the beginning done that in a way, following the style of the Beatles, and I mean you can see it everywhere.
Yeah.
In whatever they do, there's the McCartney and Lennon kind of comparison you can draw. That there are close comparisons.
Yeah, I hear it.
So,
is that why you like it?
It's definitely why I like it. Yeah, I think like.
Maybe why I don't like it, because I don't know if you've. I have a very complicated relationship with Beatles that often gets brought up on this stupid fucking podcast, and I just think they made a lot of music that is fine, and people can't accept the fact that just because they are the Beatles and have made some of the greatest albums of all time, not all of their music is at that level of quality. And I would probably say that speaks pretty truly to how I feel about Heathen Chemistry as well. Like, okay, Oasis can make good music, and this just happens not to be it.
Have you listened to Songbird?
I have listened to Songbird. I have listened to
and that's a Liam Gallagher song as well.
It is.
That is an unbelievable tune. It's so simple. It's got that simplicity of like a Lennon and McCartney song. Like lyrically, just super short as well.
Yeah, it really didn't. I do actually hear it in terms of the comparison now that you mentioned Songbird, like that.
Songbird, Blackbird.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah,
that especially as direct.
Yeah.
And Hindu timed as well.
Yeah.
You've got like that.
But not. It really just isn't for me. I think maybe that I don't think that more experimental, like psychedelic style. I don't think that's the best version of Oasis anyway, and I think that is a testament to the fact that the other the two albums that are coming up are one, the most well received, the most critically acclaimed, the ones that we think are our top 2. Like that is because this version of Oasis just doesn't hit the same.
Yeah, I mean, I think all we're doing here is just saying how we like things differently.
Yeah, it's very true. It's very true.
How much my music taste leans towards from a rock basis towards indie and psychedelic. Yeah, and that's why I guess
I'm learning though. I credit it to Barney and the pod in general, to be fair. But I'm definitely expanding my my knowledge and my taste. I think repetition is a big part of it, because being forced to listen to stuff that maybe I wouldn't have otherwise, not in like a torture way, like just having to sit down and listen to some music that I would just never have picked up. Like realistically, if we weren't doing this episode,
Yeah.
would I have listened to Heathen Chemistry back to
Yeah,
back
well,
to
yeah,
front?
that's true,
Like,
yeah.
probably not.
Yeah.
But I'm coming around to it.
Yeah.
I think I would fight for the one that I think is number one. So
Hopefully we agree.
I hope we agree, because I feel pretty strongly about this, actually. What is your number 2 Oasis album?
Dapo Agiri, my number 2 Oasis album. It's What's the Story, Morning Glory, 1995. Oh, we disagreed.
We're in agreement, mate.
Oh,
We're in
come on.
agreement, mate. I am 100% there with you. I think starting off with this, they're both cracking fucking albums.
Huge.
Yeah.
Just
They are really, really good.
banger after banger.
Yeah.
And just so euphoric.
Mate,
big
it's-
energy.
It's
Big, like, stadium.
yeah.
songs.
It makes you feel uplifted, but not in like a, I don't know, like a the way like a gospel song or like a soulful tune will make, but it motivates you to like get up and fucking
That's funny, yeah.
like raise hell.
One of my things I used to do when I was, I guess, 11,
Yeah.
every morning I used to stick on interviews from Oasis, and it gave me so much like energy.
Yeah, I hear it, bro. I hear
Just
it.
their
Massively.
like nonchalance. They're like couldn't care less about anything. I'm just gonna go out and like attack the day. And that coupled with the music, like I remember just loving it.
I can
Embodying that.
I can understand it massively. I came home like maybe 3-4 months ago. My housemate was just watching the Nebworth show, and this must be like 2 a.m. He's battered. He's watching the Nebworth show, and he was just like, I just love how they don't give a fuck. And I was like, come on, mate, I don't really get it. And then I listened to this album in particular. Actually, I listened to this album. I was like, I do sort of get it. Like it's inspiring, but then it doesn't necessarily inspire like the best parts of your personality. But it does.
It's well articulated.
It does get you. It does get you to feel you can achieve things.
Yeah, in a weird way.
In a really weird way. Like I don't think I like the side of me that came out, but he's out now and he's here to stay, and I will be listening to these 2 albums as like on the walk to work. I'm gonna seize the day sort of vibes.
Wow.
Like, do you know what I mean?
Yeah, because it's not like, as you were saying, like that soulful, oh, it's sunshine and we're gonna get going. You know, it's like despite the rain.
That I'm the shit. It's almost like rap persona.
All right.
It's the bravado, the
arrogance,
the swag. Like it's that, but a very British, a very Mancunian iteration of that. And yeah, I didn't think I was very ready to come into this episode and be like, yeah, man, these albums are terrible. You overrate them. They're trash. They're trash. They're trash. No, they're actually really, really, really damn good.
Favorite songs on the album?
It's hard
Morning
with
Glory.
What's the Story, because I actually think they are. It's a bit of a relentless ride. Like they don't slow down.
Is it easy to say which do you not like on that?
Yes,
Yeah.
I'm not a massive fan of Cast No Shadow.
No, I'd probably agree.
I'm not a massive fan.
Wonderwall?
I think Wonderwall is in the bottom half of tracks on the album.
Yeah.
But Wonderwall, but that could be because it's Wonderwall and like what it means now. Like
It's funny how a song can just have a negative effect on on a band's popularity.
yeah. But then
by overplaying or whatever.
exactly, and that's totally out of their control. And again, like looking at it in a vacuum, trying to imagine what it would be like when Wonderwall came out. I can see it. I can understand why it was received so well, and I get it is a good song, but I mean, straight after it, you're at Don't Look Back in Anger. She's Electric, Morning Glory, and Champagne Supernova to finish an album is stupid.
It's unreal. And that's our number 2.
Pardon? And that is our number 2. And that's a very good point. That is our number 2. What is your favourite? Do you have one?
On the album, I would say probably. It's so difficult. Roll with it, probably.
Okay,
Just
yeah.
like
Yeah.
The intro.
Yeah.
Just that kind of gets right into
Yeah.
Lyrically, probably She's Electric.
She's Electric is great. It's a great song.
Yeah.
Like, yeah. The word, the lyricism is
It's funny because a lot of the rhymes are so bad.
Basic as fuck.
So but like they've clearly just like tried to find a word that fits and many of them, but they just get away with it.
It works. So I think where I like this album, and this is probably like my biggest supporting statement of Oasis in general, is that despite whether the lyrics are complex, simple, whether they're trying to say something important or whether they're just chatting shit, they convey their point incredibly well. And I would say that about across both Gallagher's as chief songwriters. Like, they have a weirdly vivid way of writing songs regardless of like content and style. Like, they just manage to paint a picture in your head, and that is a very difficult thing to do. And somehow they just got it. And this album kind of encapsulates that massively so. But alas, it is only our number 2.
Yeah.
It is only our number 2, meaning we think there is one singular album that stands above the rest in terms of Oasis discography. And Kingsley Jones, could you ever so kindly let me know what that album is?
It is, of course, the first album of Oasis. Definitely, maybe 1994.
Yeah, no brainer.
Released, but 1994, I would say, is one of the best years for music. Anyway.
Oh, really?
A lot of Nirvana going on that year.
Really?
Yeah. For me, it goes 2006 and 1994. In terms of
2006.
Some of the best years for music.
Give me a tune from 2006 and tell me
You're
what.
putting on a spot now, and I'm not going to respond.
I'm not going to rise to your bait.
No, I'm not.
All right, we're gonna run this back, and I have not given this a lot of thought. I know obviously James Acaster does his because he says 2016, doesn't he?
Oh, of course, yeah.
Yeah, he says 2016. But let's come back and we'll. 2016 cannot be the case. No. Best summer, potentially.
Well, I don't know. We just had maybe the best summer.
The one that we had just had was fucking ass, mate. It rained all day.
Oh, you talk about the weather or talk about the music?
Weather.
Oh, right.
It's 2016 summer. No, weather and like lifestyle. Like,
okay.
Best summer, but not the best year for music.
I didn't know you're such a massive Brexiteer.
Yeah, I voted Leave.
Yeah,
but we.
Celebration summer. Is that what you're saying?
That's how good the summer was. That I don't think of it as. That was one of my first voting experiences.
Yeah, it was mine. Yeah. Well, I think locals, and then that one was mine.
Yeah, same.
Yeah.
And it was so good, even post, because that was like A-level results day. No, the day of the final exam. I did my last exam and then I went to go vote.
That's it. Yeah.
Yeah. And then I was on it. I was in MAGA. It was great times.
Wow.
No, terrible. Could never go back. Absolutely scarred me, mate. Definitely, maybe right. We were talking about this. It might be no skips. It really. I think it is. I think it is one song away from being a no skip album for me. Do you want to guess what that song is?
Columbia?
No, I think Columbia's amazing, yeah. It's in the back half of the album.
What, Dixie's Dinner?
Dixie's Dinner.
Yeah.
Not bad. It's
more of like a filler song.
Yeah. It just feels like it didn't need to be there. And like, I guess you'll never know, but I think going from Cigarettes and Alcohol into Slide Away into Married with Children would be such a beautifully like well constructed album. Like from the start, Rock and Roll Star, you're in it. Like you're locked in. You are right there with them. Cigarettes and Alcohol, you kind of start to feel the taper off, and then Dixie's Diner just completely blindsides me, and I'm like, I don't like this song. And then the end of Cigarettes and Alcohol Into Slide Away, I think would have been like the perfect tone setter. Like, we're coming to a close now. Like, remember to take all your belongings when you get off the ride. That's that sort of vibe. And then Married with Children, and then you're done. I just think it's one song too long, but
maybe
that's just my opinion. In totality, what a fucking album.
Favorite on the album?
Do you know what? It actually might. No, it's Shaker Maker. I was gonna say it might be Columbia, but it is Shaker Maker.
Good.
Shaker Maker is a stupid song. Yourself?
I think Rock and Roll Star. The first
I hear it.
because,
It's a great intro.
Yeah,
it's a great intro.
It's just got everything going. The drums are so good on that tune.
I honestly, you could have said pretty much any song apart from Dixie's Diner, and I would have been like, yeah, I agree. Charles said on the podcast way back, this is probably like first series. Right. He says that this is the best debut album ever made. Do you think he's full of shit, or do you think that is a fair statement?
Wow.
Yeah.
Man, that's
it's a weighty one. It's a bold claim, mate. It's a bold claim.
It could be. Is it better than what other people say, and that's why I'm not?
I think it might be.
I think that was a good album because they had the year or two of just like releasing those singles, and building up that online presence, and just like.
But is it
building that in a different age?
But is it like as a piece better than this? I don't know.
They're different. Again, Oasis, what they do best is concert, stadium sounds. Big chords, big bridges.
But I think
feeling, that just a shared feeling that they can just transmit.
This translates.
Is it lyrically better than that?
No,
I don't think so.
No, it's not. It's not. But then I think this translates well to headphone music. I think it is.
Yeah.
It's something that, as well, is. It's accessible in a way that doesn't sacrifice or compromise on authenticity as well. Like, I think you could play this to a lot of people, and regardless of their past tastes, they can get behind it. They can get behind a large proportion of it, even if they're not rock minded per se.
Absolutely.
I mean, on the whole, I'm not massively rock minded, but I do have a growing interest, and have had an interest in different bands before. But I remember listening to Charles say that. I personally don't think it is the best debut album ever made. But I remember he was like so defiant, and I was like, "You're a moron. You're just blinded by."
It's got a shout.
It's definitely within. It's in the pantheon.
Yeah.
But I don't think it sits atop the throne. One more big question for you.
Yeah.
So we've gone through our list of 7.
Yeah.
Are Oasis overrated?
Well, you've asked that question for a reason. I mean,
to get your answer.
You wouldn't say that for any old band.
I would like to know. There is a follow on to it, because I'm not sure I subscribe to the hype that's come around the live show. I'm not sure that the pandemonium that's happened is like overly warranted. But I'm keen to know whether you think they're overrated in general. Remember, your Mancunian card could be revoked based off what you say right now.
Thing is, they're from the wrong side of Manchester.
Oh, they are blue, to be fair. I don't give a fuck.
Are they overrated? I would probably say so, yes.
Correct answer.
Correct answer. I think a lot of the hype is based around the characters of them both, their public personas, their spats, whether they are real or not.
Yeah.
They're an act beyond the music.
Yeah.
And they're also, a movement.
Yeah.
Kind of like outside of the music itself. They're, I don't know how much we can say they are the cause or consequence of the 90s.
Yeah.
Of the feeling of the 90s. I should
Yeah,
say.
yeah.
Was there a Britpop without them? Probably not.
Yeah, probably not.
Not in the same way.
No, definitely not in the same way. But then I don't think that this is something that this is again boils back to my Beatles argument. Is I don't think necessarily doing something revolutionary or being culturally relevant. I don't think that is a direct correlation to high quality music. The two often go hand in hand, but it is possible to have created something and it be fine, and there's always a base level of good it has to be to get that level of acclaim. And actually, I don't know, consumerism is nuts, but just because you've affected society or you've done something that's never been seen before doesn't mean that you are the best person at doing that thing, or or what you've created is then automatically amazing. Great example, Brat. Yeah, like I like it. Like, I think it's a good album. Fine, but it's not for me anywhere near as groundbreaking musically as people are making it out to be. Culture wise, context, genius. Marketing, amazing. I respect it. Boiler Room, sick. It was all, and she deserves every accolade apart from the Mercury. I'm glad she didn't win that, but you can't then sit here and tell me that it's the best album that's made this year. It's the best album. I've had people tell me it was the best album they've had in 5 years. I was like, that's just not true.
No, it's not.
It's just not true.
It was good though.
It's fine. It's fine. But then in 3 years' time, are you going to be listening to 365 and Apple? No.
Yeah, it's
You're not.
like more of a in the moment kind of thing.
And that's fine. And that is, and I think
we can kind of make that comparison to Oasis for sure. Like,
yeah.
You find people looking for tickets who you'd never expect. Never, ever. Expect.
I've never heard these people say the word Oasis ever in their lives, and they're now spending £150.
Yeah.
I saw people that I know are like tech heads, and I guess maybe that does correlate with a lot of people who are techno fans are Oasis fans. Manny, Relation, Hacienda, all that vibe, but big tech heads flying to Dublin to spend £135 to go and
film it with a phone.
Yeah. Oh, mate. Also, speaking of ticket prices, before we wrap up, the what do they call it? The dynamic pricing.
Is that what they called it? Yeah.
Ridiculous. So I have a theory, and I'm sure I've said it on the podcast before, but I'm going to say it again, and I will keep saying it until they fix things up. I think they should run ticket selling like the Omaze lottery draw, right? So everybody gets you enter the ballot.
Yeah.
Everybody gets a unique code.
Yeah.
Probably everybody should only get one. I know it's annoying, but then if your code wins, then you can go in and buy up to 4 or up to 6. Yeah. So that's fine. So people don't miss out and making sure that they can go with their friends. And then on the day, you get an email saying your code has won, your code has not won. Fine. But my mate, I was in Portugal, while on holiday, my mate was sat on her phone from 9 a.m. till 2:30 in the queue. Like, what is that?
I gave up at 11. Yeah.
It's disgusting. Like, I find Glasto bad, and I said with Glasto there's got to be a better way.
Yeah.
There currently already is a better way than what happened with the whole Ticketmaster scandal, and I also didn't realise that all these fucking little subsidiaries like Gigs and Tours and Live Nation and they're all owned by Ticketmaster.
They're all on it,
Mate, it really.
It needs looking at, and Culture Secretary East London, if you're watching, sort it.
Kingo, do you want to run through our list of 7 Oasis albums?
Did we agree?
Oh, we didn't agree. Oh God, we're not.
Okay, I'm not moving.
There's no way that Heathen Chemistry is going to be anywhere near my top 3. So,
I'm not moving on that.
We'll agree to disagree. Kingsley, do you want to read out your top 7?
Would absolutely do that. So, from 7,
Mm-hmm.
Dig Out Your Soul, 2008.
Yeah.
Number 6, Standing on the Shoulder of Giants, 2000.
Yeah.
Number 5, Be Here Now, 1997. Number 4, Don't Believe the Truth, 2005. Number 3, Heathen Chemistry, 2002. Number 2, What's the Story, Morning Glory from 95, and the debut album, Definitely Maybe, 1994.
It's an okay list. I can't be annoyed at you because I think we agree on a lot of things. Mine is 7, Dig Out Your Soul. 6, Healing Chemistry. 5, Stand on the Shoulder of Giants. 4, Don't Believe the Truth. 3, Be Here Now. 2, What's the Story, Morning Glory. And 1, and the unanimous best Oasis album ever made, and I think probably widely believed outside of this studio, Definitely Maybe from 1994. That was a good episode. Thank you for coming on.
Thank you very much.
Kingsley's going to be on a lot more because we have a couple of things to argue about, because off the back of this we are going to do not just the best year of music, but we're also going to do the best UK band. So
wow, get thinking.
Yeah, I'm giving you ample time for this one because there is a lot to unpack with that. But for those listening at home, those watching on YouTube, go give us a follow. All the good stuff. Comment, like, subscribe, hit the notification bell, blah 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 blah, and look out for some of the chats that me and Kingsley have got coming up. Peace.
Thank you.
Sweet.